All right, everybody. How you doing today? How you doing? I want to take time. I just want to take time to welcome those of you to the Cogentifists Chronicles. I am the Cogent one. Go by Bobby Sage here today on January 14th, Tuesday. And we're going to get into it here. I've been having a few things on my mind over the past year or two, but something's come to my attention today, more notably, because I spent the good portion of 2019 committed to some self-study, if you will. And I've run across a lot of different. I don't even watch main television anymore, right? I don't watch TV anymore that much. I watch a lot of documentaries and things that are offered digitally through the internet. And there's an item that came up today by one of the people that I watch, by the name of Willie D. Very popular in the music game, in the rap game. And the topic he discussed today was 4 rules you must know when dealing with police. And I want to touch on that here in just a few minutes and give you some of my background within this next few minutes here on Spreaker. So I'll be right back. Let me get some things set up and I'll be right with you.
There is absolutely no doubt that America's community-police relationship could be a whole lot better. A number of cops tend to routinely stretch their authority. They believe they're above the law. They don't have to be respectful. They have very bad communication skills. On the other side of that coin are citizens who have bad communication skills. And so, being a citizen, I thought it my duty to perhaps share some rules that I follow for myself to keep me safe when I'm interacting with the police. Rule number 1, limit your contact with the police. That means when you're driving, try your best to not make any traffic infractions. If you have a dispute at your home, try your damnedest to not involve the cops. Because when the cops show up, they are probably going to take somebody to jail. Whoever they take to jail, the other person who got them put in jail will probably be the main one trying to collect money to bail that person out of jail. So you're taking money out of the family pot to bail someone out of jail and get lawyers when all y'all had to do is calm your nerves. Walk it off. If there's a family dispute, try your damnedest to keep it in the family. If it gets out of control, it becomes physical. That's a different thing. But just petty arguments, heated arguments, try your damnedest to keep the police out of your business because they may show up and shoot you. Try to limit your contact with the police. Number 2, always be calm and cool and collected, no matter what. You see, being hostile with the police is stupid and dangerous. If you become visibly angry, they may become angry or angrier. And they're the ones standing out there with the gun and the badge and the authority to take life. Now, you could take that gamble and say, well, like, I feel like he was wrong and he just pissed me off. I'm tired of them messing with me. And I remember, I believe his name was Eric Garner in New York, who was selling the Lucy's.
Eric Garner, by the way.
I remember him saying, I'm tired of y'all. It ends today. And they choked him out. Killed that man. He was dead to the right. They took the man's life. The thing about it, though, although he was right, he tried to settle his grievance with the police on the streets instead of kicking back, falling back, and filing some paperwork or getting himself a lawyer, resetting, and, taking it to the department. You got to be very, very careful, and you got to be smarter than the average person. It's not just about respect. It's about staying alive. Number 3, which is really a continuation from the tail end of number 2. Don't try to settle your case in the streets with the police. You will lose. Despite what you may have heard or saw in a movie or a YouTube video, the police run the streets. If you feel that your rights have been violated, get out of that situation as soon as possible and lawyer up or file your grievance, do whatever you got to do. But get out of that situation first. Do not try to settle your case in the streets. Also, you may elect to remain silent or not consent to a search. If so, it's not going to make the police happy, but it might just make them hesitant about violating your rights. Number 4, don't challenge their authority. Don't challenge their authority. Some people got that bad. They get so hot, man, they just, yeah. Think about it when you've ever challenged the authority of people in your life, whether it was your teacher, your coach, your parents. How did it work out? They usually don't work out right? Think about your own kids when they try to challenge your authority. What happens? I had a song that I wrote for the Ghetto Boys back in the day called The Secret. Well, I didn't write the whole song, but I wrote my verse. It's called The Secret. In my verse, I said, I'm yes, sir, no, sir, but when he pull off, he this. A motherfucking dick-sucking redneck son of a bitch. You see? When he pull off, he this. Not just right there in his face, because guess what? Ain't nothing good is going to happen. Nothing good is going to come from you being belligerent and confrontational with the police, becoming combative with the police. Nothing good is going to come from that. I know y'all seen some of these videos out there where sometimes it worked out for people, but why take the chance? Now, we all know you can comply and do all the things that I just mentioned and still find yourself in a bad situation with the police.
All right, that's pretty much it. I'm sorry. I apologize for the tart language there that you might have heard. But, and I'm going to wind this up here in just one segment today. I might go to part 2 on this because I would like to share some background experiences that I have had, formerly working in law enforcement for a number of years. As a matter of fact, I'm a law enforcement retiree. So I just want to go over these points, and none of these points that he's brought up are refutable. Absolutely none of them. I can tell you from the standpoint of formerly being a law enforcement officer, day in and day out, different schedules, all kinds of different calls and situations, that all these things that he's covered, well, he said there are 4 points to it, and I happen to agree with all of them. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to break this down in another segment here because I'm actually running low on time. And I'm going to go to part 2. So be looking for part 2 here soon because I'm going to post these 2 together actually. And you can actually hit me up on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel entitled The Cogentivists Chronicles, The Congentivist Chronicles that accompanies this podcast today. And I also have a blog page, thecogentivist.com, thecogentivist.com. And that's where I've posted some content. I'm actually going to start reposting more content. And what's interesting, I'm seeing something that I wrote back in May 2019 about the royal couple. That that was the latest one that I wrote. It's been a while since I've actually posted any content there, but I'm actually going to start doing it. It's 2020. I want to touch on some topics here, and I hope you enjoyed what you heard so far today. I was piggybacking off of what Willie D was saying because it really struck home. It really struck home from a position of being in the patrol car, working field patrol, and deciding to conduct traffic stops on people or not. Because you have the power of authority out there doing the job day in and day out. And it could be a really delicate balance. You have to really rein those personal feelings you might have in check. Bottom line is you have to be fair and equitable with everybody. You have to be firm and equitable with everybody. And at the same time, you can be firm, but you have to be fair. That's the way I learned how to do the job, and that's what I brought with me to the job in actuality because of what I've been exposed to through life experience up until that point and afterwards when I became associated and affiliated with the law enforcement career, which is was a noble profession. I've learned to have some other feelings about being a part of that profession later on from, I won't even say other influences, but being engaged in self-study as I have been over the past year and a half. There's certain things I've taken to heart having to do with the institution of police science. And those are personal beliefs I might share later. I'm not going to get into the conversation about it right now. But the main thing when you're dealing with the likelihood of being involved in a police engagement is to survive. As a member of the public out there every day driving around in your own personal vehicle, no one wants to see the police get behind them. I had a police officer on the side of me today. Didn't make eye contact with him. I was relaxed and comfortable. I knew everything was legit with my car. Had nothing to worry about. But there's times that there's thousands or hundreds of reasons that you can be stopped and pulled over. But we'll get into that too in future installments if I remember to do that. I might have to take a note. I'm gonna jot down a note right now. But I have some notes on what Willie D was saying, and I'll get back to that in another broadcast here. But thanks a lot for tuning in today, and I'll get back with y'all later, I guess. Yeah, that's what I'll do. It'll be sooner than later. All right. Anyway, thanks for tuning in today. And I'm going to leave the links down there. I'm going to leave the link for the show that I saw today on YouTube and everything else to get in touch with me. Okay, I'm running out of time, so I'll talk to you later. Peace.